When the coronavirus pandemic began back in February, our 6 Buckner senior living communities acted swiftly to restrict the access to our buildings immediately and mitigate the health risks to residents, families, and associates. And while the recent spike in COVID cases across the country has affected us over the past 2 months, we have weathered this surge relatively well. But as the situation lingers, we are seeing another pandemic affect residents: loneliness. Research from the National Institute of Health is showing that continued isolation is dramatically and drastically affecting residents in long-term care communities. And Buckner residents are no exception. Research shows that this isolation and loneliness can cause high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, a weakened immune system, anxiety, depression, cognitive decline, memory loss, and even death. On the other hand, seniors who engage in meaningful and productive activities with others tend to live longer and have a sense of purpose. The incredible seniors who live in our healthcare areas have given so much throughout their lives deserve the opportunity to see their families. That's why Buckner, along with Leading Age Texas, has launched an initiative asking Governor Greg Abbott and other Texas officials to open up our communities for limited and safe visits for families to see their loved ones. While the recent order providing for limited visits to nursing homes, assisted living, and memory care communities is a step in the right direction for senior adults, the order issued August 6 is so restrictive and costly to implement that it effectively keeps most senior living communities closed to visits for family members. We at Buckner believe that with the right restrictions in place, we can safely allow visits from family members to residents while properly mitigating risks. Those measures include rapid testing for all visitors who schedule an appointment ahead of your visit and test negative for the coronavirus. All visits must be scheduled ahead of time. Visitors will also have to pay for the cost of the COVID test. Any visitor would be required to wear proper personal protective equipment, or PPE, at all times. We would also enforce strict social distancing. All guests would be screened at a central point of entry to the campus. Each of our Buckner communities would have designated areas that are cleaned thoroughly after each visit. And where needed, we would provide clear plastic dividers for even greater safety. And finally, as the weather in Texas permits, we would provide outdoor spaces for residents and families. Obviously, opening senior living communities for visits has its risks, but research is showing that keeping seniors isolated has even greater risks to their quality of life. After months in isolation, many of these elderly residents are declining physically and mentally because of the lack of social interaction and the sadness they feel at not seeing their loved ones. Hopelessness, anxiety, and depression can push these precious people toward a premature death. And we believe as this isolation continues, things will only get worse. Some of our families have written to me expressing this very concern. I need your help. If you would like to help us appeal to our state leaders to provide this limited and safe access to your family members, I will provide you with a sample letter you can send to Governor Greg Abbott and other state officials. If you email me at charlie.wilson@buckner.org, that's charlie.wilson@buckner.org, I'll send you the letter I'm sending to Governor Abbott. I understand a move like this might seem risky, and it is something we would not have done weeks ago. But our increased knowledge of how we mitigate the risks to seniors, along with the advice of our 6 medical directors, gives us confidence that we can allow for this limited and strict visitation for those residents and families who are comfortable doing so. Keeping residents, families, and associates safe is our highest priority. We have come to realize that with this new normal, safety for residents should include mental and spiritual needs to ensure their physical health. Thank you for allowing us to serve you, and God bless you.